So I'm gonna say okay, and I'm actually going to copy, right click from here to here. Say, let's say I'm doing it at um, so I have this. You can actually, you remember when we get to this point. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna close this. I'm actually going to close up this. I'm going to close this. So we have this now. So now I said we'll go to add beams, and I want to use N20, add number of beam of nodes of points N20. So I'm gonna use node selector and select. I'm gonna use node selector and select this first. Then the next one, I explained what my reasons was is when I was doing this at the first instance. So I'm going to do translational repeat. These are going to stand for my columns. So I'm going to use minus 25. I'm using is an arbitral what's it called? Um, I'm just how do I use this thing? The figures are not real. I'm just using, okay, assuming the depths are 25 meters down. So I'm assuming, sorry, I should have done something, translational repeats on y-axis, minus 25, length steps, and I'll say, okay. So these ones come down back. So I'm gonna select all these ones again and say translational repeats. Still on y-axis, I'm gonna use them as I'm gonna use 10. Um, I'm gonna use 10 at the default spacing, and I'm gonna use link steps. I'm gonna say okay. So you remember when we get to this point. So let's save this so that we don't get another issue again. So now having done this, the next thing is I'll select this first one and the last one. I'll delete them. I showed you why I did that. So I'll use add beam and add from here to here, here to here, here to here, this to this, 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 and I'm gonna do them. I'm gonna do them one after the other. All right. So having done this now, having done this, the next thing is I'm gonna select the whole of this. I'm gonna select the whole of this. I want to see it in an isometric. I'm gonna do translational repeats. I'm gonna take it on the z-axis this time around. So I'm gonna take it on the z-axis, and I'm gonna say link steps. I'm gonna use 10 meter. I'm gonna say link steps. I'm gonna say okay. So this came up. I said we're gonna delete this because we are not doing a tunnel. What we are designing is not a tunnel. It's not going to be in a tunnel form. It's is an open bridge where you can when you come in, you just have to. It's just a normal opening thing. So you just have to be careful so that you don't select something else. Uh, so I'm gonna delete this and say okay. So I'm gonna select this, select this, select this, select this. I'm gonna select this, I'm gonna select this, I'm gonna delete it. I'll say okay. Now after this, the next other line of action is we're gonna put up the links. We actually want it crossed, so the channels, sorry. So I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be doing this. So you just have to be careful with this. I'm taking it to both side at once. I'm taking the both side at once. I'm taking the both sides at once. I'm taking the both sides at once. So if you want to take the both side at once, you just have to be careful before you omit some and leave some. You just have to be careful before you omit some and omit some. So okay, we are linking the steps. If you do that, the channel for the channels, if you do that for the channels, it will have its own leg, which you have to come and start deleting. Do you get? So that is the reason why I decided to do the channel, the translational repeats before. Yes, that is why it will not actually save you some time, because you're actually bringing up more stress. So I can save this, and so after this step, I think the next thing we've joined them um, is we're going to add the plates. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to use my normal cursor. I'm going to select the whole of this area. I'm going to select the whole of this area. I'm going to make sure that's what I wanted. I'm going to add the plates. So 21 plates generated. I'll say okay. So having added the plates, the next thing is I'll go to the support. I'm trying to fasten up the support page. I'll create is a fixed support. I'll say add. I'll drag this. I'll select this and select this and say assign. Yes. So the supports will actually be assigned. So now the support will be assigned. So the next thing is So the next thing now that we're going to do is I'm going to click on general, and I'm going to click on materials, and I'll click on create. Sorry, I'll have to cancel this. Click on steel, say create. I'll select this, select the steel again, and come here and call FE500, and come back here and select the steel again. Change. I'm gonna change the tensile strength to 500,000. I'm gonna say add, and I'm gonna create concrete. Use concrete and create. Then select concrete here. I'm gonna call it M60. So I'm going to come here and select the concrete again. Compressive strength is 60,000. 1, 2, 3, and I'll say okay. So having done that, um, after changing all these things, now the next thing is um, you click on property page. We'll go to property page. So when we go to property page, we'll click on define. So circle first, I want to use 2 meters. I want to use M60. I say add. I want to use rectangle. I want to use 0.75 and 0.75 and 0.6. I want to say M60. I want to say add. Then I want to use so I'm going to come back to circle again. So this circle, but this time around, I'm going to use the steel. So I'm going to use 0.35 for that. I'll say add. I'll say close after that. So I'll say close. Then the next thing is I'll go to slab thickness. Sorry, I'll go to slab thickness. Oh, 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 oh. Sorry, this is taking a bit of, my system is a bit hanging. Okay, I don't want this. I'm going to close this. This is not what I want. So I'm going to come to thickness. So the thickness, the plate thickness I'm going to use is 0.15, and I'm going to use M60. For that, I'm going to say add. So I'm going to close. So I will drag this to somewhere here. I'll drag this to somewhere here. So I'll use this plate now. I'll select I'll select this, and I'll use the plate cursor. Sorry. So for this now, I'm going to use the plate cursor for me to select that. I'm going to use this plate cursor. I'm going to select the whole of the plates. So I'm say this assign to selected place. I'll say assign. I'll say yes. So we'll have that. So the next one is circle 3.75. So that is for the steel. I'm going to select the whole of this. I'm going to select the whole of this and say for the steel, I'll say assign. I'll say yes. So it have assigned the steel. So I'm going to, the circle, the rectangle, I'm going to use this and select the beams that are below. I'll say assign to selected beams, assign, yes. So I'm going to click on this circle, this one for the column. I'll select the columns, and I'll say assign to selected, yes. I'll say yes. So all these are all assigned. They are all assigned. So we can, let's check out our model. It should have been fixed in 3D. Yes, they've all been fixed in 3D. They've all been fixed in 3D. So now the after this now, After the next line of action, is I want to close this. I'm going to close this. So I'm going to save this. The next the next line of action, I'm going to check on the load page. This is the load page. I'm going to click on the load page, click on load case, click on add, and I'm going to say primary. I'm going to say let's say self weight. um, I'll say add. So I'll close this, I'll click on this, I'll say add. So it comes up here. The self weight, the multiplication factor is -1. So I don't have anything to do with that. I'll just click OK. I'll just click add, and I'll check here. Have it been added? It have been added. I'll say close. So I'll take this to this. I'll select this. I say assign to view. Assign it to the view. So since it's in isometric, all the structures will be assigned. So once I do that, the next thing is I'll click on analysis and print/print. I'll select the static check, and I'll click add, and then I'm gonna close. I'll click on post print. I'll say define commands. So I'll go to support reaction. I'll say add support reaction. I'll say close. So this was exactly, I think, almost the points where we were. And I'm gonna use the node selector to select all these, and then I'm gonna say assign. So once this is done, the next line of action, I'm going to run a little bit of analysis, which will take us to post processing. So as you can see, no errors, nothing. So I'll go to this. I'll say done. I want to view the whole thing, and so my interest is actually on these support reactions. So I'll